has no reason to live.
Was he right?
Hello and welcome to Brand X Reviews. Today I'm going to be looking at the Wolverine Blu-ray release that came out today. It's November the 18th, 2013. Now, a lot of you may have seen this film in cinemas. It came out in July. I can't remember the exact date, but it was in July anyway, basically. So it takes about 4 months for films to get released. I only saw this film once in the cinema, so my kind of memory of it has faded a little bit in terms of specific detail. The reason I mention that is because they've released an extended edition, and I really couldn't see any difference. There were a couple of little things that I thought, was that in the cinematic version? I don't remember. I mean, part of me thinks I probably should have looked this up so that when I did this review I could tell you exactly what was on the, you know, what the differences were, because obviously that would make a better review. But I think the fact that I didn't notice the differences probably maybe speaks even more volume. So you can always look up the differences if you want to. But I mean, it claims on this to have an extra 12 minutes. But they've got the runtime wrong anyway. It says cinematic version 120 minutes, extended version 132 minutes. That's 12 minutes difference. Well, it didn't feel like there was that much of a difference. And the fact that it says extended cut 132 minutes approximately, it's actually 138 minutes, which I'm not complaining. I mean, that's obviously you're getting more than it tells you you're getting. But it says approximately. I mean, 132 minutes is more than approximate. That's down to the minute. I don't understand these Blu-rays and DVDs when they talk about run times. They seem to get it way wrong a lot of the time. So, like I say, you can't really go off that. If you see this in the shops, don't really go off the runtime. The fact that they got the runtime wrong kind of makes me think, well, did they get the difference between the two wrong? It's saying 12 minutes difference. So, I mean, I didn't notice 12 minutes difference, and if there was, it was probably all in the middle when it's just sort of dialogue scenes. There wasn't really anything noticeably different, and it's not like it's a 15 or 18 certificate. It's still a 12, so it's not like there's anything really all that you know, controversial or awesome that, you know, that in terms of like action that they couldn't show in the cinemas. But it's still a good film, don't get me wrong. This is probably one of my favourite films of the X-Men films. This will be the 6th film in the series. And they do, I think they get better. My other favourite is X-Men First Class, which probably puts me in a minority. I think a lot of people really didn't like that film.
You ready for this?
Let's find out.
A lot of people did. It's fairly polarised. You don't really like it or you really don't like it. That's my experience anyway. But it's going to be good to see the Days of Future Past, which I'll get into in a minute anyway. Days of Future Past being the next X-Men film. It's a difficult series to follow as well chronologically. Because you've got the original 3 films, the original trilogy, X-Men 1, 2 and 3 basically. And then, instead of carrying the story on for future films, they went backwards and did prequels. Which, you know, they didn't reboot it or anything like that. Well, they did kind of feel that way. But they did the X-Men Origins, that was the 4th film, so they kind of went backwards. And then the 5th film they did was X-Men First Class, which was set before X-Men Origins, so it's kind of really hard to follow. But this film is the most recent story. It's set after X-Men 3, so in terms of the timeline of the film series, this is the most recent part of the film series. But it's, like I say, I liked it. It was it kind of had a feel of the Blade films in some ways. Not quite as good, but although Hugh Jackman's very good as the Wolverine. But it did have that kind of feel of a Blade film rather than the kind of Marvel Spider-Man kind of feel that the other ones had. I'm not dissing Marvel. I mean, the Avengers related films are really good. They're some of my favourite films, to be honest, like Iron Man. But yeah, the X-Men films were a bit kind of kiddified, and like Spider-Man more than anything else, but they do get better. In this one, like I say, the standard of you know, just action and storytelling is more like the Blade films. Not that Blade films have got like an epic story or anything, but I just mean the way they tell the story, kind of thing, the way that the film plays, and the entertainment value, if anything. Now, there are different versions of the film to get anyway. You can get it on DVD. Now, there's a couple of different ways you can get it. It's kind of confusing. I went to one shop and they had it on DVD, and it came in a box set with the X-Men Origins Wolverine film that came out in 2009. So you get one, and you can get that and this one. So the two Wolverine films basically in a box set for a tenner on DVD. That was in one shop. But then in another shop, they just had this new film, The Wolverine, on its own for a tenner on DVD, and no box set. So it depends where you go, basically. Extras aren't all that fantastic from what I could see. But then the next thing up you can get is the Blu-Ray, which was about £15, and that is just the Blu-ray, and it's not the extended version. The next thing, the third version of this you can get is the 3D one, which is what I've got, and you also get it in 2D Blu-ray. So if you don't have a 3D TV, don't worry about it, because you can still watch this, and it's the extended version of the film. I don't know if the extended version is in 3D actually. I think the extended version is 2D only, from what I can tell. I didn't see. In fact, does it say? No, the 3D version is just the original cinema version. So if you've got a 3D TV and you want to see the extended cut in 3D, that's not what you're going to get. If you want to watch the extended cut, you have to watch it in 2D. So I hope that's of use to you if you're contemplating buying this. Just be aware of that. Just to say again, if you want to see the extended version in 3D, you can't. The extended version is in 2D. It's 3 discs anyway. You get the 3D version on one disc, you get the 2D version on the second disc, but that is extended, and then on the third disc you get the extras basically. So the extras are quite good. There is a behind the scenes. It's very short. It's only about 3 minutes at the most. X-Men Days of Future Past set tour. And it's basically Bryan Singer, the director. He's kind of walking around on set of Days of Future Past, which is the next film that's coming out in 2014, that kind of reunites the old cast, you know, Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen, is it? Or Ian McCallum? Anyway, I don't know if I mispronounced that, I don't know. But it reunites them, and it also kind of integrates them with the X-Men First Class cast, which was set in the 60s, although they will be then in the 70s in this one, because there's like a time travel thing. Watch the trailer anyway, the trailer looks pretty good.
I don't want your suffering. I don't want your future. Please. We need you to hope again.
So there's, like I say, a little kind of preview on that, and it looks good. The set pieces are physically built as well, from what I could see. There's a bit of sort of green screen going on, but it's kind of off in the background, like, you know, the sky kind of thing that they're going to fill in with CGI. But the actual set pieces are physically real, which I think is really good, because I really do not like full-blown CGI backgrounds and stuff, because it just looks really bad. Now, what else? If you saw the film in the cinema, there was a scene that is obviously in this. Midway through the credits, there's a thing that kind of leads on to X-Men Days of Future Past, the next film. So that's in this. So if you missed it in the cinema, you get a chance to see it on this again, obviously, because it's part of the film. So they're doing that in a lot of films at the moment, putting like additional scenes in the middle of the credits or after the credits, which can be a bit annoying in the cinema because you have to kind of sit through it all. But other than that, extras, there's an alternative ending as well. It's about a minute and a half long, if that, and it's got similar ending to the film where he's on the plane, but he has a suitcase kind of thing, and he opens it, and it's got his Wolverine costume, which is like a yellow costume in the suitcase. I don't think they're going to use it in the next film. I think it's more of kind of a joke. But he kind of opens it up and he looks at it, kind of like smiles. Because they never went with that yellow costume in the films because it probably would have looked ridiculous. But it would be interesting to see if they did it. I would like to see them do it, just out of interest to see if they could pull it off. They probably could, to be fair. I mean, they pulled off the Captain America costume. It didn't look too ridiculous. It kind of sold it to the audience. You know, that's what this guy wears. So if they did it, and it does look quite good as the Wolverine costume as it is in the suitcase. So it would be nice to see that. I don't think they are doing it. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, somebody post in the comments, post a link or something with some pictures, because it'd be cool. I'd like to hear that they are going to go with that, but I kind of doubt it. Anyway, other than that, nothing really else to say about this. It is quite expensive. Like I said, the DVD version was £10, the normal Blu-ray was £15, and this was £20 because it's in 3D, and they know that if you've got a 3D TV, you are a sucker, so you will therefore pay more for the 3D version. I don't have a 3D TV because I'm not that much of a sucker. I'm only enough as a sucker to spend 20 quid on an extended version, but I am not getting a 3D TV because it is a waste of money and it is a gimmick. Unless you're into computer games, I can understand 3D for computer games, but for films and stuff, absolute waste of money. Even in the cinema, I'm not all that impressed. That's just my personal opinion. Anyway, kind of get off track now. But yeah, nothing really much else to say. Like I said, check out the Wolverine Days of Future Past trailer because it does look quite good. And from what I've been reading, it's been a very expensive film to make. There's been some recent developments on that they've had to go back and do some reshoots. Not just small reshoots, but some quite significant ones. Like I said, 20th Century Fox that make these are spending a lot of money on it. I think Avatar was probably their most expensive film, as far as I'm aware. This is coming close to being second most expensive, so I think they are going all out for this one. So fingers crossed, it will be very good, but we will see in 2014 when it comes out. Nothing really else to say. Like I say, I usually do toy reviews for these things, but for films and stuff, I usually kind of throw in a toy review as well, merchandise. But that's for older films that came out when I was a kid. Of course, like Robin Hood came out in '91. I had the toys for that because I grew up with it. You know, this is a new film. I don't buy toys anymore. You know, yeah, I'll just kind of forget that you saw that. But yeah, that's just by the by. Anyway, we will skim the toy review for this occasion. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and like I say, we'll look out for X-Men Days of Future Past in 2014. Check out the trailer; it looks pretty good. And check out the website brandxreviews.com. Plenty of other reviews on there that I have done, and there will be plenty more to come as well. Thank you very much for watching.